the final day of TAA. Day 6, day 7, we don't know anymore. I have packed up all of my bags, heading down to breakfast, checking out of the hotel, and going to say hi and bye to all of my students for the week. The last day was only about a half day, and we started out the day with an hour with each group that I taught. I made sure they had all of the information that I shared throughout the week and all the resources that I shared, and I told everybody to bring their favorite eraser stamp and their paper bag book so that we could sign each other's yearbooks. It was an idea that I came up with on the fly because I did not realize that we were all going to come back together on that final day, which obviously makes sense, but it wasn't part of the curriculum that I had planned. It ended up being an amazing activity because everyone got to see what everybody else made, and I had everybody also sign their emails or their Instagram handles if they wanted to network with each other later, because a lot of the attendees were in the same counties and school districts. So that was really fun, and I forgot to bring my paper bag book example, so I made something that everyone could sign as well. So I also have a collection of everybody's artwork. The other fun thing about coming together on the last day was that a lot of people had gone home and continued to create in their paper bag books and continued to work on their projects from their other classes, and so everybody got to share those things. For instance, one educator created her troll and gave him a brain with the plan that every time they complete a project, his brain will grow. So by the end of the year, he'll have a huge brain and his head will be completely full. And you know that kids are going to love that, and that is such a cool idea that everybody could do in their classrooms. And I was so happy that the facilitator of this group facilitated a group picture, so I have that record as well. After that class time was over, we went to the student union where there was an art show where all of the visual arts educators were invited to share their favorite thing that they had made throughout the week, and we all got to walk around and see everybody's creations. This was especially cool because there was such a wide variety of what everyone did, especially in the elementary educators' classes. We all were using cardboard and paper bags, and the wide variety of what people created with those things was super cool. We also had a chance to see all of the high school educators' artwork and the projects that they had made, which was so fun because, like Summer Brown, her painting and drawing classes, I never got to go in and peek and see what they were making. So I loved this chance to see everybody's favorite works from the week. And the final activity on the calendar of the Tennessee Arts Academy week was the luncheon, where everybody who put together the event was recognized and we listened to the Academy Chorale.
Wish you all a safe trip home, and we will see you all hopefully next year. Thank you all.
As soon as the luncheon was over, we jumped in the vans, flew back to our hotel to get our bags, and were taken straight to the airport. Everybody's flights were so quick, but my flight wasn't until the evening, so I couldn't even get checked in for an hour. So I just went through TSA, and I got pulled. I thought it was going to be because I had my carving blades with me, but they pulled me for my erasers, and then I was afraid she was going to throw them away, but she scanned them and everything was fine. But my eraser art got flagged at TSA. Once I was able to check in and go through TSA, the Nashville airport is the airport to hang out at. I wonder if I could fall into the sky. Do you think time would pass me? There was live musicians in every corner of the airport, and as I explored, I found this giant poster from Hatch Show Print. Everybody told me as the printmaking instructor I had to go there. I didn't get a chance. It took me some effort and exploration, but I found a restaurant that I could eat at, and I had some delicious tacos, which was fun because the flavors were so different than what I usually taste in the Southwest. And I spent a while just hanging out at this restaurant, sipping on lemonade and watching all the interworkings of what was going on. Also, there was this wild storm coming in, which was not great for me later on. Also, I appreciate Southwest Airlines' sense of humor, which made just sitting and waiting for my plane more fun. flight was super delayed, so I just had them switch it for a direct flight to Phoenix. And they were like, "Is that okay? Is that okay? It's not Tucson." And I was like, "Yes." I was literally so tired by this point and starting to wonder if I needed to find a second dinner. Which was when I found this little shop, the Urban Juicer, that had gluten-free and vegan little bites. And at this point, I started getting DMs from my colleagues at TAA saying that they were already home safe, and I was sitting in this massive thunderstorm, just stuck, waiting. So one flight came in, that was the plane I was going to be flying out on, but we still had to wait over an hour for the lightning to be 3 miles away. So this seemed like a great time to go through the archive of photographs from the week and find all the photos of my team and the participants from my classes. So that was a really fun way to pass the time. And I really loved a lot of these images that were taken throughout the week. They're so great to have. Finally, we were able to board our flight. It was past 11 at this point, I believe, and it took even longer to get in the air. And the rule was that they couldn't send employees out on the tarmac while there was lightning within 3 miles of the airport. But that didn't mean that we weren't still flying through the storm. And I've never flown through a storm before. They had us like buckled in for quite a while, and I took some video so I could show my kids. But part of me was like, do I need to close my window and stop looking at this right now? Because flying through the rain is something I've never done before. That said, I got to stretch out and I passed out and slept the rest of the way, and I've never been so happy to see Phoenix. I have flown into Phoenix in the middle of the night before, and I absolutely prefer it when it is super empty. I made it to Phoenix. I'm just about the only person here. My husband and kids are gonna come rescue me. My family picked me up and we still had a 2.5 hour drive to get home, and I pulled in my driveway at exactly 24 hours from the time I woke up. Last year, I had told my husband I want to prioritize going to some arts conferences so I can be surrounded by creative people. I did not have on my bingo card that I would be invited to be a featured guest at an arts conference, but it was amazing and it may have set the bar pretty high for future events. The Tennessee Arts Academy has been running for 39 years, and now I can see why. It was an absolute treat to participate.